It is a Victory Monday as our Browns put off a really big win against Miami yesterday. And if you were at the game, you're probably still drying off. It was a wet one. It was a much-needed win for our team, and no one knows that better than our own Dave Chudowski. And he is now in Studio B with a guest. He's got the orange tie on. He's ready for it, everybody. Let's cheer Dave on as he talks about the win.
That's right. Any chance I can to wear the orange tie, I'm going to do it. Scott Petrak from the Chronicle Telegram, thanks for being with us. I think I've interviewed you more than anyone in the history of my career. We've been doing this since 2007, 2008. Think about that.
Wow, getting old.
Yeah, we are. The only problem is we don't get to talk enough wins. We finally get to do that. We have a Victory Monday here. Scott, how important was this win, not only for the organization, but for the fans?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, they lost 3 in a row, right? It was a tough stretch to open the season. But beyond that, you had some pressure on Coach Kevin Stefanski, General Manager Andrew Berry. A lot of stuff had gone wrong. They trade Joe Flacco. They lose 3 in a row. It was a battle of 1 in 5 teams and a bad Miami team. So they really needed that win.
Yeah, imagine if we were talking about a loss today to that Miami team.
Right, then the conversation is all about who gets fired. The bye week's coming up after this next game in New England. The conversation certainly shifts. Now, again, it was against Miami, but they needed it, and they finally got a rare blowout win, which we just don't see happen. So I think everybody can feel good for now.
And the recipe, too, I feel like they did what we asked them to do, what we hoped they would do, and that's run the ball, get a lead, and play defense.
That's exactly right. And Myles Garrett talked about it all last week. Like, things have to change to allow the defense to do what it can do. It can't be always playing behind, because then it makes it so much easier on the other team. Now, I think the weather helped Kevin Stefanski commit to the run. And he might have anyway coming off that Pittsburgh game. But when it's windy and rainy, then you run it a bunch, and you have Quinshon Judkins, which is a complaint. Give the ball to Quinshon, and he goes and runs for 3 touchdowns yesterday.
I think we have something special with him, don't we?
Yeah, you know, it was weird because he had the 46-yarder, which was a great play, and he cuts through the middle and then outruns the defense, and I think some people questioned his long speed, but he certainly showed it. Then he gets a couple out of the Wildcat. Outside of those plays, it wasn't a great day, but I think the message is keep giving him the ball because good things happen.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to Stefanski. You brought up a lot of things in your initial comments, and let's dive into a few of those. Had they lost this game, would Stefanski be gone, or do you think he is just safe all year?
I think he's safe all year, just because the Hasms have said that they want continuity, right? They feel like this year was about more than wins and losses. It's about rebuilding. It's about developing the young players. They have 2 rookie quarterbacks. Now, you can only lose so many games before that philosophy changes. But I don't think it would be a midseason change. I think it would be an end-of-the-year change.
Okay, and you mentioned the quarterback, Gabriel. What'd you think? His first win, we've seen him, 3 times? Yep. Thoughts?
I think he was fine, right? He did what he needed to do. The key is he has not turned the ball over, right? And we saw Joe Flacco, and it wasn't all Joe Flacco's fault, but he had 8 turnovers in 4 games. Gabriel has not had any in 3 starts. I think it's 107 passes without an interception. That's a good way to start your career. Now, have there been enough big plays, chunk plays? No. Part of that's the weather yesterday. Part of that's the receiving core he's working with. But for him to play a clean game, I think that was important.
Hey, honey, we're going to this wedding tonight. How do you think I look? Oh, you look fine. I'm going to go change.
Right.
So he looks fine. Are we going to see Shedeur at some point?
Yeah, I think that's just going to happen. The only way I could see that not happening is if they go on a big run, right? If they start making a run toward the playoffs and Gabriel's playing at a high level, then there's no reason to make a change. But if they go up and down and are going to miss the playoffs, you have to see both rookies. Jimmy Haslam said that before the season, especially given the fact you have 2 first-round picks next year.
All right, let's dive into the Flacco situation. You brought that up, and clearly I was going to ask you about that. They trade him. He goes to a division rival. They beat another division rival. Your thoughts on them trading Flacco to Cincinnati? They got a lot of criticism. I mean, in the last week, with the way they've been losing and then that trade happened, they are taking some serious heat.
Yeah, my first thought is the reason he played well is because he has 2 big-time receivers that the Browns don't have, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And that makes all the difference for a guy like Flacco who throws it so well and still throws it really well. So I think it's a matter of circumstance. I don't love the trade inside the division. Maybe it's because I'm old school, but Mike Tomlin says, why would you do that? Why would you help a division rival? And I don't understand it either. The reason the Browns did it is so Joe Flacco could go start. That's what he wanted to do. He was no longer going to play here, but I'm still a little weary about trading inside the division.
All right, before we go, we always, almost every morning, talk about the stadium situation. Where do you think we're at with that and your thoughts on it?
It feels like it's just about a done deal. I know council still has to approve, and it's an agreement, not a signed thing. But the Browns have been pushing, and the Haslam's have been pushing so hard for this for the last year plus that it just feels like it's going to get done.
I talked to two different people. I talked to a lot of people this weekend. I was at some different events. But it's funny. You could literally have one person say they love it and one person say they hate it.
Right, and I think yesterday was a great example, right? It's a weather game. And it's like, well, we're not going to have these anymore once we get to 2029. Is that good or bad? Because if you're in the rain all day, you want to be in the dome, but it also, there's some home field advantage there.
Yeah. All right, Scott Petrak, Chronicle Telegram, thanks so much. Always love talking Browns with you. Hopefully we can get a winning streak going at New England, right?
There you go.
All right. What do you think about that, Danita? I would like to break out another orange tie next week if possible.
Definitely. We need another Orange Town. And that was a great breakdown of the Browns. Great breakdown of the Browns. Thank you, guys.